Okay, final steps. Cabinet's gonna go in the house. Got my crew. Got the area cleared out. Got the little piece of crap table out of the way. Got some of my wiring sorted out. Got all my electronics ready to go. Like I said, some of the wiring sorted out. I'll sort it out as I put it in from here on out. So here we go. All right, well, everything is hooked up. Seems to be, everything's working.
Has this Obamacare coverage. And okay, now my copay for my diabetes is $20. And if it gets repealed,
well, these speakers aren't working. I don't know why yet.
I can't find time in my schedule.
But
my list of errands to
holy cow!
On Tuesday.
Got it all wired.
That I don't get.
Let's see if I can turn the light on here.
Something that they didn't support to begin
it's
with.
actually cleaner than it looks.
Big government issue. We're looking
but
in the last year.
There you have it.
The VA. I spoke to a father who he tried to
tiny house, tiny house living for sure.
In for a mental health appointment, had been turned away. The big.
I've put the layer of plywood on, screwed and glued. Then I put some mastic, some tile adhesive on the plywood, and then screwed using the special screws for this wonder board or concrete board, self tappers. Mark the spots so I'd have the maximum strength. And now I'm cutting tiles. I've laid my center course with an eighth inch gap because I'm using sandless grout, so you can only have a maximum of an 1/8 inch gap. Anyway, I've laid my mastic out on this side. The center ones are already glued down. I've got these cool little spacers. These are the best way to go because you can reuse them, and you know they'll actually line up to the corners on one side and just flats on the other. I've spaced out from the edge for my trim, so they're all an 1/8 inch spaced right there as well. Anyway, onwards and sideways. I've got my little wet saw out here that I'm using to cut these with. It's not a very expensive one, and I don't really need, like, I don't do this every day. So this was, I think, the $99 Home Depot special. But it really works. I've done, you know, the rest of my tile work with this. It's not the greatest, like I said, but it gets the job done. All right, well, I'm going to continue on. All right, I've got the tiles laid. It's not the best job in the world. I've got some gaps that are a little different. I had this tile broke when I was sawing it, so I had to make that the short one. It was supposed to go here because I'm all about the color, right? And this one was supposed to go there, but since the corner busted off, I had no choice but to swap them because I don't have any spares. And so it recommends 72 hours before grouting. And then I have to cut these. I got to cut a 45 on these and work them back. And I tape them in place like I did over here on this countertop. I just placed them and then I taped them with the adhesive on it. I don't line up the corners like this. I don't want that grout line to be separated, so I'll start my 45 over here, which will overlap that gap, so it'll be, you know, the next one will go here, and that way I don't have one straight line of grout on the edging. But 72 hours to completely dry. I'll probably just let it dry overnight, and that way I'll be able to put tape on it and use these new tiles that are just freshly glued to hold them in place from falling over. And it was kind of a monitoring situation when I did it before. I used some blue painter's tape. I put them on there, but I had to constantly come back up to it, and because they'd start to sag a little bit, so I'd have to come and push them back up into place until you know, until they started to get solid. It was kind of a pain in the butt. I've done a fair job of leveling the tiles. You know, I've run in different directions, and actually some of the tiles have varying thicknesses. So, but hey, you know, it's tile, and that's about it for right now. All right, I've mitered my corners, and I'm gluing them on right now. I just used a flat trowel and pasted up the back side of them and put some tape on it to hold it in place, and I've clamped some boards on top to make sure that they're a flush fit to the rest of the countertop. And once these start to harden up a little bit, then I can move on. These are all of this type of clamp that I have, so I'm not going to do anything more until until these pretty much set up. Okay, it's pretty late at night. I'm removing the tape from yesterday. I know that's all settled up. This is today's gluing session. We'll let that set up till tomorrow. I know it's a pretty long process. By the way, this Captain Morgan Black, pretty good stuff. Honey, should I put this on YouTube? Should I put it?
No.
No? Okay.